Welcome to my madness once again, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Super Shredder from NECA. And if you'll notice, it's not in the box. That's because I bought this from a local dealer who actually had a water leak at his place of business, and it damaged some of the boxes for the toys. So he was actually selling toys out of the box, still new, but out of the box, because the boxes, the cardboard has been damaged. And so he had all the figures sealed. You can see that it is sealed in plastic. He did that. But the figure itself inside is still all wrapped up and sealed up and all that kind of stuff, at least as much as it could be, when the box was damaged. So he was selling these like this, and I usually wait to the end of the video to talk about price, but I picked this guy up for $27. I'm an out-of-the-box collector, so the box didn't matter to me, and this guy's going usually online for $40, give or take. There are a couple different versions of this Super Shredder. I think this is the second version that came out back in 2021, but for 27 bucks, I wasn't gonna pass that up, not at all. This is a figure I don't have. Been wanting a Super Shredder. While I'm not the biggest fan of Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, love the first movie. The second movie leaves a little something to be desired, but I love this character design for Shredder. I think it's awesome, and I really wanted this figure for a while now, so yeah, I got a pretty good deal on it. So anyway, let's go ahead and crack it open and see what we got with this guy. All right, so we got them all unwrapped. We'll look at accessories real quick. First, we do get a couple of extra hands, nice open hands there. We also get a couple of gripping hands, and then of course we get one bigger gripping hand on his left hand. I assume that's for his weapon there, which we have right here. I forget what this thing is called. It's not a spear. There's a name for this, and I don't remember what it is. So we've got that, and then of course he does come with a little vial of ooze here. So pretty cool there. All right, so let's take a look at the figure itself, and I gotta say, it looks really, really good. I mean, look at that head sculpt there. That looks great. Look at that. That is awesome. Really, really well done. And of course, if you come to the back, you've got the texturing right there, which looks great. You got some texture here. The cape is fantastic. Doesn't feel cheap at all. Feels really, really nice. You've got the shoulder pads, which look fantastic. Just the musculature and the way they've done the sculpting on everything looks amazing. We've got the gauntlets there, and this is a little bit of a softer plastic, but still looks really good. We've got the belt piece right there. Looks great. Legs there look fantastic. Feet look good. You've got the wrappings there on the back. Paint job is done really, really well on this guy. I like the dark purple with the black to define all the musculature. Looks really good. I think they did a fantastic job. I wasn't a big fan of the first version of this because he had kind of the white as kind of like an accent color on all the musculature, and it kind of looked like they were trying to do, I don't know, maybe like a video game version or an animated version of the character. And so I didn't like that deco job that they did on the original one. This, of course, is, I believe, the second one that they did back in 2021, when they basically just did the same figure. They just got rid of the white. And I think it looks way better like this myself. So sculpt and paint are absolutely on point. Fantastic looking figure. We will talk about articulation here, because he's actually pretty well articulated for a figure of this size, because he's about 9.5 inches tall. He's a big boy, and we'll do some comparisons here. I'll throw him up with some other figures so you can see just how big this figure is. But as far as articulation goes, you've got standard hips. You do have double jointed knees that come up to there. The feet have hinge and pivot, so you've got your hinge there, and you've got your pivot there like that, and that's about it. He does have a waist rotation. He's got that upper diaphragm joint up here. He can lean back pretty good, but doesn't really lean forward that much. Shoulders come up to here. They kind of stop at where the shoulder pads are. He doesn't have any bicep swivels or thigh swivels. He does have swivel there at the elbow. And then he does have a really well-designed, in my opinion, double jointed elbow here. And this is the first time I'm seeing one like this. The second joint is actually down in here instead of right next to the first joint. And that works really well because of the size of his arms. Normally a figure like this wouldn't get double jointed elbows because there'd just be no reason to, because the arms are too big. But on this one, you've got that second joint there, and his arm comes all the way up like that, and it actually still looks really good, even though the second joint is right up in here underneath the gauntlet. I think it still looks nice. So really good job there on that. And then, you know, standard rotation and hinge there on the hands, and then the head is on a ball joint, but honestly, you're only going to get rotation out of it because of the size of the helmet, so there's not a lot of movement there. But, I mean, I think they did a fantastic job. It looks really good. Paint, deco, sculpt, you know, is on point, and the articulation is honestly better than I thought it would be for a figure of this size. So, I mean, so far, not disappointed at all. In fact, very pleasantly surprised with how good this figure is. So let's go ahead, throw him up with some other figures, and see how he stacks up. All right, so first we'll throw him up with some other NECA Turtle figures. So of course, we've got Metalhead, we got Slash, and then we actually have the movie version of April O'Neil. And remember, these are 7-inch scale figures. You know, April and Metalhead are both right around 7 inches, give or take. And look how big he is compared to those two figures. I mean, he's huge. This is a very, very large figure, and I think it's perfect, man. I think this is exactly what you want in your TMNT collection, is to have Super Shredder just be massive, and they pulled it off great. All right, just to give you an idea of how big this guy is, we've got a Marvel Legends 6-inch scale figure and a DC Multiverse 7-inch scale figure here next to him. And once again, he just towers over them with how big this guy is. And yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. All right, so I know we talked about it just a little bit at the beginning of the video, but let's talk about price as far as what you can expect to pay on this. And new, I see this guy go for between 45 and 50 bucks. When I check out there, because it really isn't any longer sold, so you're going to be picking this thing up on the secondary market, eBay, Mercari, places like that. Yeah, 45 to 50 bucks. Now, I have seen him out of the package where, you know, somebody's selling him, he's been on display, whatever, still in really good condition. I've seen him go for as low as about $35, give or take. So obviously, you know, the deal I got from my local dealer was ridiculously good, which is why I picked it up. But at that, let's say 35 to 50 bucks, is it worth it? Well, when you look at what other figures cost in the TMNT line, and you're usually looking around $33 to $37, somewhere in there, and you know, this guy's no longer sold new. Is it worth the extra, let's say 10 bucks if you buy him new? Let's say you're going from $37 to $47, because that's right there in the median for an in-box Super Shredder like this, specifically this version, which sells for a little bit more money. Is it worth it? Is it worth the extra 10 bucks? And I'd kind of say yes, because if you looked at him compared to the other figures, you're getting a lot of plastic for your money. And this is a really nice figure with surprisingly really good articulation for what you're getting. I mean, I would not have expected it to come with double jointed elbows, and it did, you know. I wouldn't have expected the knees, the double jointed knees, to go as far as they did, you know, and yet here you go. So, I mean, I'd say you're getting a really good figure for the money, even if you're paying that secondary market premium of like, you know, 45 bucks or whatever. I'd say it's still a really good figure, especially if you're obviously a TMNT fan. It's a great figure, man, and I don't usually say that something is worth secondary market prices. I just don't. It's just not something I usually fall in line with. I usually say wait for a deal or pass or whatever. But I gotta say, man, this is a really, really nice figure. Yeah, probably. Well, honestly, it's the nicest NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure that I have picked up personally. It's really good, guys. So, you know, take that for what you will. Obviously, I'm really happy that I picked it up. I'm really, really happy that I got the deal that I did on it. That was just pure luck. So, yeah, I'm all smiles over here, guys. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. Do you like this figure? Do you want this figure? If you already have it, what do you think of it? And what do you think of the NECA Ninja Turtle line in general? Because I'm being very, very impressed with it as I've gotten more and more into it in the last 6 months or so, because I know I was late to the game. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching as always, and always remember to enjoy your collection.